Well, hello, everybody. Welcome back to Cocktails and Rocktails with me, your most notorious groupie, Alice Rouse, author of We've Got Tonight, The Life and Times of Notorious Groupie, me. That's right. And these other little books right here, where you can find that, my merchandise, my Patreon, the cocktail of the day, anything like that. You guys, go down Charlie Brown, because Mama likes it when you do. It's a great way to get things started. And plus my merchandise, I've got some really funny t-shirts, like the one that started it all. I fucked Steve Jones, and all I got was this t-shirt. ... Thank God! Stuff like that, or a couple Metallica-based ones. And I do have normal, cocktails and rocktails, and I have stuff for moms and dad over my merchandise. So you guys, hit it up, see what you like. And as always, thank you guys for all the support, all the love, all the friendships, all the amazing, amazing stuff that is happening here. You guys, it's reminding me of our old rock and roll community back in the 80s. And for those of you just joining and you young girls, stick around. If you want to be groupies, don't sit on TikTok and make excuses that it's not the same. You know why it's not the same? Because you girls are sitting around on TikTok being prima donnas instead of being groupies in the fucking hotel bar. So stay here, learn about it, find out how much fun we used to have, and go recreate it. You're so busy recreating other things on TikTok. Recreate the era, recreate the feeling, the friendships, the road family. Bring it back, you guys, because it's awesome. All right, speaking of awesome, today I'm going to talk about a man who is a really awesome figure in Danny and I's especially rock and roll existence. He was around for a lot of things, and he was a tour bus driver, because you guys know that how much I love the road family. And the road family does not just consist of the rock stars. It consists of guitar techs, drum techs, bass techs, stage techs, lighting techs, FOHs, monitor guys, just everybody, and tour bus drivers. And this guy was a tour bus driver named Al Shipman. And I'm giving this shout out to him because he really was a pretty cool rock and roll dad to me and Danny. And today I'm finishing up because it's getting spring and I'm really in the mood for something creamy and cool. So I've made a little shake, and this is vanilla bean ice cream. I put a little s'mores hot chocolate into it, a bunch of amaretto, and I call it delicious. So everybody, grab your creamies, kick up your feet. Let's have a little cocktails and rocktails. Cheers, big ears. Better than Kip Winger in a hotel glass. If you know, you know. So, okay, we're going to talk about this tour bus driver, Al Shipman. God rest his soul. He's not with us anymore. But Al, I kind of struggled to where we actually met Al, because Al was around in so many different instances, and he would get bored and be like, hey, girls, come out on the road. I'm driving this and this band. Stuff like that. So we actually met him on Dangerous Toys when I was with Scott Dalhover. And he just was like, from the second we met him, we just felt like we had known Al, Danny and I had known Al for such a long time. And that we had just had this really great friendship from the day we met him. And he was one of those people like Cy Langston, who was with The Who and everybody, because there's certain kind of guys that work for the band that are just natural caregivers, that just take care of everybody and make sure everything is spot on for everybody the way they want it. And Al was one of those people. And we had just given him our number, and this is before cell phones. And we also had given him, along with a lot of rockers and other roadies, our phone number as well. Like I always say, my poor mom, she bitched out more rockers than Eddie Trunk has ever interviewed. It's true. It's true. Ask Mike Clark from Suicidal Tendencies and James Hetfield. So anyway, we had given Al our number, and he always just kind of called and kept in contact. And he was the reason we actually went out to Denver to the MTV Club Tour, which I've already done. Again, I'll put links to this video and the other videos that he may appear in here on the description. So when we went out to Denver for the MTV Club Tour, we decided to hitchhike. Like I said, the whole story's down there. It was me and Danny and our friend Angie. So we decided to hitchhike. And Al, being the typical rock and roll father that we knew, because we knew our real dad. I'm still very close with my real dad, but he was just our rock and roll dad. He would tell people we are his daughters. And he would not let us, Al would not let us stay the night with any of the band members when he would take us out on the road. But luckily I'm squirrely, so I bucked the system. So anyway, we're talking about the Club MTV tour. So we had hitchhiked out there. He did not like that. And on every tour, there's always a just in case empty room registered under just in case. So we were always in the just in case room, and we were at the Embassy Suites in this beautiful suite, and he was not having us hitchhiking home. Fuck that. So he took his own money and bought 3 last-minute plane tickets from Denver back to Salt Lake City for us. You know, and this was common back then, like my friend Mark Workman. He's an amazing person, always one of the truest gentlemen. He always had one motto: I don't leave our family in the parking lot at 2 a.m. And this was Al Shipman's motto as well. So he made sure we got home just like on The Who. Their whole crew took 4 hours out of their way with the buses and stuff to get our asses home, because we hitchhiked there too. So anyway, so that was one of the times we had met Al. Another time that was, he had come through town. He was done doing a show, I believe, I want to say it was in Idaho, and it was Ziggy Marley. And he was driving Ziggy's bus and had to drop them off at the airport here in Salt Lake City. So Al calls up, he's like, hey, I've got to drive to Chicago. He's like, I'm bored, I don't want to do this drive by myself. Do you guys want to come? He's like, they left a bunch of stuff here, including their weed. So Danny and our friend Billy and I, we were all like, they left their weed? Fuck yeah, we're on that bus, come on. And they had super soakers, so, you know, we wanted to get our practice in, so next time we saw Dark Angel and our friend Sean, we could kick your asses again, because we kicked your asses, Sean. We did. We kicked your asses. So he calls us up and he's like, hey, he said, I don't want to do this drive by myself. He's like, so why don't you girls pack a bag and come with me? Fuck yeah. So Danny, Billy, and I, we pack a bag, we get on the bus, and it was so cool just having this whole tour bus to ourselves. And, you know, pulling over, and people are like, who's that? And plus we had Ziggy's weed, in which he didn't mind we were smoking it. And super soakers, which we would pull over at truck stops while he was filling up the bus and stuff, and we'd stop and eat. And again, he's paying for all this and our plane tickets home out of his own pocket. Because like I said, he was the second dad. He drove a lot of different bands, and I can't remember, I want to say it was someone like Lillian Axe or someone like that was a later 80s glam band that came a little late when grunge was taking over the scene. He had flown us out on tour to hang out because he's like, there's no girls. He's like, I can't believe it. There's no girls on this tour. So we had flown out to I forgot to finish telling Chicago. Anyway, so we get to Chicago, we get to the hotel, there's Ziggy and everybody. We meet Ziggy Marley. We ended up having another big super soaker squirt gun fight in the lobby of this hotel in Chicago, which they kind of didn't really like, but they tolerated for about 3 minutes before they told us to take it outside, or we would be having to find another hotel. So that's how the Ziggy Marley trip ended up. So on this Lillian Axe trip, he flew us out to Phoenix, I believe it was. And it was just cool. We were just hanging with the guys. Al always had the bus fully stocked, full of alcohol, whatever else you needed. Al had his buses clean, stocked, new sheets, just pristine. So we were kind of drinking on the bus and decided we were all going to go swimming. And it was a really rainy day, really stormy day down in Phoenix. So we decided we're going to go swimming, and I just, who needs a bathing suit? Not me at the time. I do need one now, but at the time, not so much. Okay, I don't always wear my bathing suit now either, but anyway, so, unless I'm on a public beach, and even that's questionable. But, so I remember being in this pool, and we were all just sort of floating around, swimming, talking, going to the side, because we all had our drinks lined up with the band and everything, and Al's just sitting on the side of the pool, hanging out, and Al was kind of like, think of Mel from Mel's Diner. That's kind of what Al reminded me of, but a really super sweet version, and not so gruff. So we're swimming with the guys that, I'll just say it was Lily and Axe. I want to think, I cannot remember if it was them or not. But so we're just swimming in the pool, and all of a sudden, the storm just keeps getting closer and closer, and lightning starts striking not far from us, and we're just all in the pool. We're just like, okay, cool. And I think about this one because it was just a really, really cool day to be swimming in the pool with the lightning and the band and Al. And as usual, Al made sure this was Al's mode of operation. Whenever we'd go out on the road with him, we could stay out hanging out with the band until 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. Because he knew once 1 or 2 in the morning hit, we'd all be pairing off and doing our thing. So, Al liked it, like I said, he was like a dad to us, so he didn't want to see the big rock boys taking advantage of his sweet little groupie girls. Little did he know. Well, he knew. He probably just wanted to keep his job and not have us chew up and spit out yet another rock star. All of us. So he would come to whatever room we were at partying. He would find it. And he would come and he'd be like, ladies, it's time. And he would march us right back to our rooms. And like I said, we were squirrely. Better make sure that sometimes those rooms are not connecting room with some of the musicians. Maybe he should have thought they were connected to his so he could keep an eye on us. But that was Al. Like I said, he was just so sweet, and he treated us like Danny and I especially, like we were his daughters. And he was just always there for us. We talked to him on the phone at least once a week, and he'd let us know when he would be in town. And one of the last times I saw him was when he was driving Pantera on the Cowboys from Hell tour. When I very first met Pantera, I was actually in the back lounge because Al was the one that told us that Phil had the biggin. So when Al told me that, and the second Al told me that, I could see that on his face that he regretted it. Because he knew what little vixen and man-eaters that mean, especially me and Danny. Oh, Danny and and Kristen was just as dangerous, but Danny and I were just fucking evil. But you'll find more about that when Kristen is in town and we're filming, because Danny's going to be hanging out too. So she may want to get in on another filming as well, because we've already filmed once before together. So, what was I saying? Oh, so he was on camera. So the second he said that Phil had the biggin, like 13 inches biggin, longer than a foot long subway, he could see on my face that I was like, oh, I need to see that. He was like, oh, I should have told her that. It's going to be a mess of something. And it was, because, I pretty much blue-balled Phil, because he was like, well, oh, she wants to see my pee-pee. She's going to want to bounce off my pee-pee. No, this was just more kind of, it was a novelty. I wanted to look at it. So that was one of the last times. I know we had seen him one other time. He had flown us down to Albuquerque. And we ended up going to Houston and Dallas and over to New Orleans with him. And then flew us back. And that was the very last time we saw Al Shipman. And then Kristen and I moved up to, Danny left Utah to go be with her boyfriend in California. Kristen and I moved up to Seattle the second time I lived there. And Al pretty much retired from driving a tour bus. He was just getting kind of tired and didn't want to do it anymore. But I wanted to let you guys know that, rock and roll, and especially for the TikTok groupies, rock and roll is bigger than just the musicians. I know that certain 70s groupies have sat in one of our little homemade panels and said, oh, we don't date the road crew. We don't know the road crew. Yeah, you didn't know Cy Langston, did you either, Scammy? And you weren't around the band long enough on the road to get to know the family. Because that's the thing. That's the trick. The road family is much bigger than just the groupies and the musicians. But most people don't realize that. And Al was like a second dad to us for like 4 or 5 years. Even the first time in Seattle, he helped us out and made sure we were safe on a few nights. From far away. He was not there. But that's just, I like kind of giving you guys a different perspective and not just talking about the rock stars, but talking about the whole family. And the road crew, definitely, they make this family go round, without a doubt. Without them, just be groupies and rock stars fucking in a hotel. There'd be no show. So we probably wouldn't be able to fuck in the hotel if it wasn't for the tour bus drivers, because there'd be no band. So, all right, there you guys go. There's my little shout out to my friend Al Shipman, a few of our little stories from the Club MTV tour where we found out Milli Vanilli were lip syncing and were dancing on stage with Tone Loc, which he was back at the hotel because tour bus drivers tend to sleep in the daytime, especially when they have an after show drive for like 16 hours. So during the day is when Danny and I got away with most trouble when Al was sleeping, but then when we were on stage with Tone Loc and doing the Funky Cold Medina, we look over and we see Al. We're like, oh shit, Dad's here. We're in trouble. So there you guys go. I hope you enjoyed my little babble for the day. You guys, thank you so much for all the love. I've got everything on order that I'm going to start giving away. I had hoped it would come, but some of the things are going to take a month to 6 weeks to get here because there's printing, there's shipping, there's designs, there's all kinds of stuff that I'm doing. So I've got multiple things that are going to trickle their way in, and it's all going to you guys. So everybody subscribe, get a membership, hit the like, hit the share. Even if you're not subscribed, just at least hit that like. Because here's the problem. TikTok, as we know, may be banned from the United States. So everybody on TikTok, including these huge groupie false ass bitch creators, will be inundating YouTube. It'll be the new TikTok. So you guys, help me stay true. Because this is no bullshit. I'm not some girl posing in front of a camera, being in pictures, stuff like that. I'm telling you reality. I'm telling you things you've never heard about bands that no other groupie has ever talked about. Or most of them never got near. So even if you're just haunting the channel, hit the like, hit the share, get me out there, you guys, comment. Let's keep this channel growing because you guys, I can't do it without you. And I love you guys so much. I need your help. Let's do this. All right. So thank you again for all the love, all the support, all the amazing people that I'm meeting here. You guys friggin' rock. See you next time. Cheers, big ears.